Hello, everyone. Welcome to a psalm for today, your reassuring voice that Jesus is Lord. I'm live streaming on Thursday of Holy Week today as we reflect upon the last week of Jesus' earthly life. We think about the various events, relationships, interactions that he had with his disciples, with the government, with executioners. He descended into hell. Who knows what all interactions happened there. It's fascinating to me. Thursday of Holy Week is often the day where we honor the Lord's Supper. And it was at the Lord's Supper, it was at the Passover meal, where Jesus washed the disciples' feet. It was there where Jesus said, the one who betrays me, go and do what you're going to do. It was all kinds of things happened. One of them is the washing of feet. Jesus said, you call me Lord and teacher. And rightfully so. I am your Lord and I am your teacher, he said. He said, but I want you to know that the servant is not greater than the master. So what I have done for you, I expect you to do for each other. And then he said, a new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another as I have loved you. Thinking back to the Old Testament, the Shema, Hear, O Israel, the Lord thy God is one. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, and strength. The Old Testament passage was telling us to love God. So when Jesus says, a new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another, it's not really new. It would be easy to think, Jesus, you're wrong on this one. You're not giving a new commandment. A new commandment that I give unto you, that you love one another. But that's not where the sentence stops. A new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another as I have loved you. In other words, Jesus is saying, I, the Son of God, I'm fully God and fully man. I am your Lord. I am your teacher. And yet I humble myself, wrap myself with a towel, and wash your feet. Now, foot washing for us is symbolic in our culture in the West. However, in other cultures, I've been there when people have traveled a great distance and their sandals and the dust on their feet. And foot washing there is an act of hygiene. It's an act of kindness. It's an act of refreshing. I've been in many places where when you enter their house, they have soap and they have a pot of water over a water basin. They pour the water over your hands and you wash your hands. It's part of cleanliness. It's part of providing for the guest. In other words, Jesus said, a new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another as I have loved you. He said, I want you to love each other by taking the lower position. I want you to love each other by preferring the other above yourself. In just a matter of hours, Jesus would die for their sins. In just a matter of hours, he would pay the ultimate price. If we are to consider Psalm 118, I think it's verse 27, Psalm 118 says, tie the sacrifice to the altar. This mirrors, this foreshadows the nailing, the tying, the securing of Jesus to the cross. But even in Psalm 118, it says, I shall not die but live. The fact is, I think it means I shall not die totally. I shall not die eternally, but I will live. Because Jesus did die. You will die. I will die. And yet Jesus said, he that believeth on me, though he were dead, yet shall he live, and he that believeth on me shall never die. It's clearly not a statement that we will not die. It is a statement that we will not die and stay dead if our confidence is in Jesus. So in just a matter of hours from this passage, Jesus will be secured to the cross, perhaps with nails, obviously, that's part of the process, but maybe with ropes too. I don't know all of the details of the use of ropes in Roman crucifixion, some crucifixions, all crucifixions, I don't know. Jesus said to his disciples, if you truly love me, take the low road. If you truly love me, humble yourselves in servant. We always talk about servant leadership, which is good. I'm very thankful for that. But for today, I'd like for you to just drop the word leadership and just think about Jesus, the servant. In a sense, he said, now follow my example. But in another sense, he wasn't trying to lead them anywhere. He was simply serving them. He was simply saying, I am your master and your Lord, and I want to leave this earth. I want to go to my death, having done an act of service, having gone the extra mile to let you know that I am here to wash your feet. So many people are interested in the visible, interested in power and control. And when I left Malden Community Assembly as the global senior pastor, I wanted to leave completely. I wanted to say I have no power and no control. I'm another guy on the planet trying to follow Jesus. And whenever there's a church structure, someone needs to have the power, someone needs to have the control. But I have a theme, and that is leading without power. And there is a way to lead without having power. And Jesus never exercised his power, to my knowledge. He exercised his authority. The song from childhood, where he could have exercised his power, he could have called 10,000 angels to destroy the world and set him free. He could have called 10,000 angels, but he died alone for you and me. He didn't exercise his power. Jesus models in the foot washing service, he models, don't go out of here trying to gain power. What was it, 323 AD, Christianity became the official religion in Constantinople. Christianity had its power then. Christianity, though it has had power, we do our best when we're powerless, because then we don't rule from power, we serve from authority. Dr. Pakoda at Northwest University, he said that maybe a little illustration of the difference between power and authority would be a woman who helps students in the crosswalk. And as they cross over to the other side of the street, she walks out with a stop sign. And she holds the stop sign out, and a huge semi comes to a stop. She does not have more power than the semi, but the red stop sign gives her the authority to stop the big semi. The red stop sign gave her authority. Jesus did not exercise power. On Maundy Thursday, there's a debate on what Maundy means. If it comes from Latin, Maundy means a new commandment. If it comes from French, it means has another meaning. So we don't know exactly the root of why it's called Maundy Thursday. But nonetheless, we know on Thursday, the church for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years have paused to reflect on a king who washes feet, God who stoops on the floor and cleanses dust and dirt off of toenails and wipes them with a towel. As you and I consider each other, as we consider how to be effective in God's world, there is a time and place for the yielding of power. There is a time and place to say, I'm not trying to be your servant leader. I'm not even trying to be your leader. I'm simply here to serve. Jesus said, a new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another. The part that's new, is as I have loved you. You could use many definitions for love prior to this passage, but when Jesus said, a new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another as I have loved you, he added the part, and the way you show this kind of love is to follow in my footsteps and go to the lowest part of the human, the foot, and say, I will humble myself to the foot level to show you God's love. I will serve you. Now, in our system, foot washing is symbolic, as I mentioned. But then they actually needed their feet to be washed. This is part of the deal. And so for us today, it could be, may I mow your lawn? May I shovel your snow? May I tie your shoes? May I help in that part, which is the everyday, mundane, where life touches dirt, where people interact with the soil. Can I be there to serve you? And as you view today, if you're viewing on Thursday, reflect on opportunities for you to lay aside power and to serve in a servant heart. Don't worry about leadership. Don't say, I'm trying to develop servant leadership. Just say, how can I serve you? You could actually even ask a family member, what could I do today to serve you? You could ask your friends, how can I serve you today? You can ask your church. You can ask your boss. Say, this is the day we honor Jesus serving. What is the most menial task I can do to show you that I am your servant? May God bless you and me as we seek new and creative ways to love, not just in the way we think we should love, but love